Lions, tigers, and bears. And Nazis. Oh my, yes, you heard that correctly. On this episode of Brad's Vlogs, I will introduce you to a wonderful book authored by poet and naturalist Diane Ackerman. This is a harrowing tale of the life under Nazi invasion and rule, set in Warsaw, Poland, amongst the surreal scene of beautiful animals and buzzing bombs, noble Poles, and insane Nazis. Let's discuss The Zookeeper's Wife. Today we are peering into a world of stark contrast, set in Warsaw, Poland during the Nazi invasion and occupation of World War II. We will experience the transition of a peaceful zoo where everyone works together in harmony to a war-torn cityscape where we want to hide from the blistering scourge of war and the cold, sordid quest for so-called purity. Let's begin with a little history of our author, Diane Ackerman. She was born in Waukegan, Illinois, not terribly long after the war, on October 7th, 1948. She attended school at Pennsylvania State University and Cornell University. Her love for science and nature can be seen in many of her works, such as Why Leaves Turn Color in the Fall, some children's novels that she wrote, and Reverse Thunder. Antonia Skaminski is the heroine in The Zookeeper's Wife. The events that helped shape her life are when the zoo came under fire and they lost most of her animals, which were like family to her. This led to a love-hate relationship with Lutz Heck, a colleague of Jan, her husband, who Lutz was the head of the Berlin Zoo and was also a Nazi trying to bring back extinct purebred animals. The second important event for her was when Antonino and Jan decided to hide Jews in their home, fooling the Nazis by hiding them in plain sight. Another event came after several close calls with the Nazis. One day, a Nazi soldier took her son and another young zookeeper assistant behind the house after calling her a traitor. She heard 2 shots ring out. When the soldier came back around the house, he returned with the 2 boys and a dead chicken. And said, "We played a nice trick on you," while laughing. This was a reminder just of what was at stake for them. The event that caused them to be the most admired was that they fed and cared for fleeing Jews by giving them shelter at the zoo. In total, they saved 300 men, women, and children, only losing 2. Jan, Antonina's husband, helped them escape the Warsaw ghetto and provided them with fake documents that eventually helped them get out of Poland. Antonina was a woman who knew how to speak to animals, according to Jan. He would say she is able to emit waves of calm and understanding. When it came to the animals, she was also able to use animal life to explain human nature. This helped when she was confronted with German soldiers. She was a very strong woman who was able to keep her emotions under control, and she strived to keep the household as normal as possible during the war. She even wrote about her depression with no fuss, referring it to be like another type of weather. Jan, her husband, who was a zoologist by trade, and an author of books about animal psychology, he was a brave and resourceful man who was able to use his title as superintendent of the public parks to enter the Warsaw ghetto and help the Jewish friends and colleagues escape. He was a proud and educated man who was not afraid to speak about Lutz Heck. desire to bring back extinct animals. Unbeknown to Antonina, he was a part of the Polish resistance who worked to disrupt Nazi occupation. The main lesson that I took away from this book is to always help if you can. You can help people that are different than you and stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. My favorite part of The Zookeeper's Wife was when Jan was sneaking the Jews out of the ghetto. It was very exciting because of how dangerous it was, and they had to sneak them right under the Nazi guards' noses. My least favorite part, though, was when Lutz, Heck, and other high-ranking Nazis came to the zoo on New Year's Eve and at a hunting party where they shot innocent animals in cages for no reason. I did really like this book. It was very interesting, and it was a very exciting story. I recommend it really for someone who really enjoys animals and history. My hope is that you love The Zookeeper's Wife as much as I did. See you next time on Brad's Vlog.